ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। श्री रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामने नमस्ते सारस्वत देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवाद पाश्चात्य। So I'm always reminded of Srila Prabhupada's pastime as soon as I remember ISKCON Columbus. Just briefly mention one pastime. Srila Prabhupada, when he came to ISKCON Columbus, 1969 or so, I think 68 or 69, and he was ready to speak at the university there near close by to your temple. Ohio State University, sorry, yeah, Ohio State University. Then, but there was a mic, but there is no stand to put the mic on. So he could, so Prabhupada was looking for the mic, and nobody is. Then Prabhupada immediately looked at. Then there was a poet and singer. I forget the name. Recall. And there was a devotee Naranaran Rishi Prabhu. Then that poet was he was giving his socks to tie that mic to the speaker, a mic to the mic stand. Then Prabhupada looked at, the socks is the dirtiest thing. You can have it. You can use it. Then immediately Prabhupada looked at Naranaran Prabhu. Then immediately he understood the mind of Prabhupada. Immediately took out Brahmin thread from his body, and then he gave it to Sri Prabhupada, and Prabhupada tried it. And then, so Prabhupada is displaying from ISKCON Columbus, from this pastime, what I took as a lesson is Yukta Vairagya. That means how to engage, dovetail everything in Lord Krishna's service. So we humbly request all the devotees, newcomers coming to ISKCON Columbus, please take this as instruction, and it's for all of us to engage in this way, dovetail everything, whether we are a brahmachari or grahastha, vanapastha, sannyas, engage everything in Lord Krishna's service, engage others in the service. And we see in today's pastime also, Sri Nityananda Ram ki jai.
Prabhu, Mataji is pointing out the name of the poet was Allen Ginsberg.
Correct, Allen Ginsberg, correct. Right. Allen Ginsberg, yes. So, yeah. Now we will be speaking about Lord Nityananda Prabhu and his glories. As February 14th is very, very important day for all of us. Even tomorrow also, Monday is Srila Advaita Acharya Prabhu's appearance day, fasting till noon tomorrow. And next Monday is Lord Nityananda Trayodasi. So without Lord Balarama's mercy, Lord Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, we won't be able to get the mercy of, we will not be able to get the mercy of Lord Krishna. Shri Radha Shyam Sundar, Shri Radha Natavar, in this case, ISKCON Columbus. So we'll briefly touch upon, there is one pastime I'll quickly read from, this is from Bhakti Ratnakar. But before that, let's understand who is Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So from Srila Prabhupada is giving from Srimad Bhagavatam, is explaining the Lord Balarama's position. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu was born to Hadai Pandit and Mother Padmavati. In spiritual world, Hadai Pandit is king. Hadai Pandit and Padmavati. So Revati, right? I forget. Padmavati and Hadai Pandit. He is the son of Padmavati and Hadai Pandit. So where and it is mentioned there in the spiritual world. I forget. And then Lord Nityananda Prabhu married Vasudha and Janava Mata. So Vasudha is the Varuni in the spiritual world, and Janava Mata is Revati in the spiritual world. And then, I forget now, Adai Pandit and must be King Kukudmi. So that is, I think, Suryadas Sarakeli, who is the father of Vasudha and Janavi Mata. So that is, he is King Kukudmi in the spiritual world. So they are eternal personalities. Even Adai Pandit and Mother Padmavati, yeah.
It is Suryadas Sarkel who is
yes.
Kukudme.
Suryadas Sarakeli is the father of Vasudha and Janava Mata, was King Kukudmi. But the Adai Pandit and Padmavati, Adai Pandit is King, what's his name? Dasarath, representing King Dasarath and King Vasudeva. Vasudeva, just like Krishna and Balaram in his Dwarka Leela. Same way, Mother Padmavati is representing Sumitra, Mother Sumitra, and also Rohini, Mother Rohini in Krishna Leela. In this way, we can understand Lord Nityananda Prabhu's same eternal pastimes are going on in different yugas. Now let's understand from the Srimad Bhagavatam who is Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So where it is explained in 10th canto, first chapter, verse number 24. Vasudeve kala antah sahasra vadana swarat agrato bhavita devo hare priya chikirshava. The foremost manifestation of Krishna is Sankarshana, who is known as Ananda. He is the origin of all incarnations within this material world. Previous to appearance of Lord Krishna, the original Sankarshana will appear as Baladeva, just to please the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna in his transcendental pastimes. And further, it is mentioned in second chapter, verse number 13 from 10th canto. Garbha Sankarshanat tam vai Prahu Sankarshanam bhuvi Rameti Lokaramanad Balabhadram Balotrayat. The son of Rohini will also be celebrated as Sankarshana because of being sent from the womb of Devaki into the womb of Rohini. He will be called as Rama. Because of his ability to please all the inhabitants of Gokula, he will be known as Balabhadra. Because of his extensive physical strength, he will be called as Balaram. In this way, three names. Sankarshana, which is in material sense in Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada talks about in the second chapter, where he is mentioning how he is forcibly, Lord Krishna told Yogamaya, you take Lord Balaram from Mother Devaki's womb and take to Gokul, Vrindavan, to Rohini's womb, basically transfer from here. That since he has been transferred, forcibly transferred or attracted to Mother Rohini's womb, so that's why he will be called as Sankarshan. In material energy, that potency is called gravitational force, but it is the power of Balaram. So, and without Balaram, we will not be able to understand or get any mercy from the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. We cannot understand even either. Where Prabhupada is quoting that Mundaka Upanishad, verse number 3 to 4, where it, 3 to 3, yeah, or 3 to 4, 3 to 4. Mayam Atma Hinena Balahinena Labhya. Nacha Pramodat Tapasa Vapi Alingat Etair Upair Yatate Yat Budvan Tasyaha Atma Vishate Brahma Dhamma. Supreme Lord is not obtained by a person who has no spiritual strength, nor by a foolishly engaged in improper renunciation and detachment. A wise person engaged in proper renunciation and detachment attains the Lord. This is in 3 to 4 of Mundaka Upanishad. Where in Krishna book, Prabhupada is saying, so one must need the spiritual strength which is coming from Lord Balaram. Now, how do you get a mercy from Lord Balaram? That is the first and foremost question we may have. So one is to, by glorifying Lord Balaram, Lord Nityananda Prabhu will get the mercy of Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And also by distributing more and more Krishna Prasadam, Harinam Sankirtan, book distribution, glory, or giving Bhagavad Gita, or talking about Krishna engaging others, bringing others to Krishna consciousness is the consistently, not just one time we try and then we're not able to distribute anything, then we become impatient. No, we have to consistently try and become try to get the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. And then also we should, especially special festival days, where we have to use this opportunity to engage more and more to distribute to others, especially Janmashtami, Gaur Purnima, Holi, Radhashtami, Balram Jayanti, all these important, even regular days, even the like bigger days like Memorial Day, Independence Day. These are the days to use to distribute more and more prasadam, books, whatever we have opportunity to connect new people with about the glories of Lord Krishna. In this way, we can get the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Also, another way. So I don't know if your temple is open, so you all should join on February 14th and take the darshan of Lord Nityananda Prabhu and attend the Abhishek, because it is very important. In one of the pastime, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself worshipped and glorified Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and he personally told Lord Nityananda Prabhu, give me your cloth, kopin, and then he cut into pieces and he distributed to all the devotees. And everybody tied it to their turban on their heads, because that is the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Without the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, we cannot get. So you all can even, other day I received from Mayapur Dham, Lord Narsingh Dev's cloth, just a very small teeny cloth, but still it is very, very significant to get the mercy in that way. So every paraphernalia, whatever we get, especially Abhishek cloth, whatever is used for the Lord, that is a mercy. So in this way, we can receive the mercy by glorifying, by distributing, by worshipping the Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So Nayam Atma Balahinena Labhya. So it's not a material strength, it is a spiritual strength. That's why Balaram carries a plow. Why is he carrying a plow? Mr. Prabhupada mentioned that this plow is generally used to make the land fertile, remove all the things, basically make it fertile so that seeds can grow when you sow the seeds. Same way, Lord Nityananda Prabhu is representing Guru. That is also another way to get mercy. By pleasing Guru, by following the instruction of spiritual master, then we can get the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu also. Yeah, one must receive. So to get a Guru, one must approach Lord Krishna. Both are parallel lines. By approaching Lord Krishna, by his mercy, we will be able to get Guru. By the mercy of Guru, we can attain Krishna. So this way, both are very much needed. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu, in this way, we can receive the mercy by these various ways, by worshipping Guru. Now, so let's read this beautiful pastime from Bhakti Ratnakar about Lord Baladev's given mercy to two different devotees. One Brahmana, this is near Govardhan. This is a conversation between Raghav Pandit and Srinivas Acharya. Oh Srinivas, there was a rich Brahmana everyone knew who lived near Govardhan. He was always overwhelmed in love for Balaram, and his mind was always absorbed in thoughts of his character. He was certain that one day Baladev would kindly grant him darshan, and for that reason he always wandered around Govardhan. One cannot describe the fortune of that Brahmana who one day received information that Baladev would grant him darshan. In order to fulfill the devotee's desire, Nithyananda Rama at that time went to Govardhan on pilgrimage. Nithyananda remained in a lonely place, but whoever saw him was bewildered by his celestial body, which bewilders even Cupid. When the Brahmana saw Nityananda Prabhu in distance, he wondered where this Avadhuta had come from. Seeing the Lord's effulgence, he could understand that the Lord was not an ordinary person. The Brahmana brought various items like yogurt, milk, cheese, and butter. He came before Nityananda, offered obeisances, and said, "Oh Avadhut, please accept these gifts. I pray that you please show your mercy to me, so I may have the darshan of Radha Rohini Nandan." Hearing these words, Nityananda smiled and a great fun accepted the offerings made by a Brahmana. The Brahmana then received the Lord's remnants and returned to his own place. When he honored the Mahaprasad and became agitated in love, The Brahmana was unable to return to meet Nityananda, and as evening arrived, he fell asleep. At night, Lord Nityananda appeared to the fortunate Brahmana in a dream. Seeing Nityananda, the Brahmana was very pleased. The next moment, Nityananda revealed his form as Baladeva, and the Brahmana fell at his feet. What a wonderful form Baladeva exhibited, enchanting to the entire world. His limbs were glittering, being decorated with various ornaments. After blessing the Brahmana, the Lord disappeared. And the Lord's disappearance, the Brahmana's sleep broke. He became restless and started to return to where he had met Nityananda Prabhu. At that moment, he heard a voice telling him to remain patient and wait till the morning. He considered that his desire was at last fulfilled. Now I have achieved the Lord. I will not leave him. I will fall down and surrender everything at his feet. When the night is over, I will have a goldsmith make ornaments to offer to the Lord. As he thought in his way, sleep again came. Again in the Brahmana's dream, Nityananda appeared to him. Seeing the Lord decorated in wonderful ornament, the best of the Brahmanas offered many prayers. As before, upon the disappearance of Lord, the Brahmana's sleep broke. Morning soon came, and the Brahmana came before Nityananda Prabhu and explained the previous night's dream. The Lord smiled slightly and holding the Brahmana's hand and instructed the Brahmana in all truths. The Brahmana inquired from the Lord, "Who has made these ornaments I saw in my dream?" The Lord, who is controlled by his devotee's desire, replied, "One day I will be decorated as you have seen. For now, take this Govardhan Shila and cover it in gold. I will then wear it in my neck." The Brahmana executed the order as given by the Lord. The best of the Avadhutas then took the Shila and wore it on his neck. Even for Lord Brahma, such pastimes are very rare. Nityananda forbid the Brahmana to disclose this incident to anyone. However, out of his affection to his devotee, Lord remained there for some days. This rare affection can be had simply by simply seeing this place. So this is one of the pastime from Bhakti Ratnakar. So conversation between Raghav Pandit and Sri Srinivas Acharya. Now we will see we understood how to receive the mercy, and now we will understand how Lord Balaram, Lord Nityananda Prabhu empowers. So the two examples we can see from Chaitanya Charitamrita in the chapter Adi Leela, we see that first example is first example is Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lord Nityananda Prabhu appears in a dream and he gives his mercy because he's seeing hearing the blasphemy or offense. One devotee makes Gunarna Mishra makes an offense. He is a Brahmana, he was worshipping the deity, but he completely forgets about the devotee, who is Miniketan Ramadas, one of the almost 75 branches or so Chaitanya Charitamrita author describes in chapter 6 or 7, Lord Nityananda Glories, are branches of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So out of that, one branch is Miniketan Ramadas, is exalted disciple of Lord Nityananda Prabhu or associate of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Then when he entered, Miniketan Ramadas entered into this place, this devotee's house, and the Gunarna Mishra was not even paid any obeisance, no respects, no conversation. He didn't even do anything. So even there was such an exalted personality, while coming into the devotee's house, one must properly give respects and invite. This is the proper etiquette, and he didn't realize that. And then and he didn't even have a proper understanding of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Lord Balaram. He only has affection or understanding of Lord Krishna, but he completely neglected Lord Balaram. So that is the same thing. He couldn't recognize Miniketan Ramdas. So that was a two times offenses. Then immediately Miniketan Ramdas became very angry and upset. He broke his flute and he left from that place. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's brother also had the same opinion. He had a full understanding of Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, but he didn't have an understanding of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Lord Balaram. Then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami chastised his brother that both are non-different. Lord Krishna and Balaram, only difference is Lord Balaram is white, Lord Krishna is a blackish blue, Shama color. So in this way, then he chastised, and in this way, so Lord Nityananda Prabhu was very pleased to hear Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami doing this. Then he appeared in the dream and he told, he gave 10 gifts Lord Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami attained 10 gifts by Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. He was able to go leave. He told immediately, leave to Vrindavan. Go tomorrow immediately. Go to Vrindavan and you will be able to meet Sri Prabhu Goswami and other 6 Goswamis. And you will be able to attain the shelter of, and he explained all the details to attain the shelter of Sri Radha Madan Mohan, Sri Radha Govinda Dev, and then he will be able to attain the shelter of Lord Krishna. So that's why by the mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami, by the mercy of Sri Sanatana Goswami, then he attained shelter of Sri Radha Madan Mohan, and Sri Radha Madan Mohan personally instructed and gave the mercy and strength to write at the age of 99 or 98 years old, 90 plus. He wrote Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is impossible task. He couldn't even move. But at that age, to write that, because Lord Balaram personally gave strength. And we see also this empowerment is given to, later on we see Raghunath Das Goswami, another Goswami, one of 6 Goswamis, whose appearance day was yesterday, Vasant Panchami day. He was also the son of a big Jamindar, Govardhan Majumdar. But he tried to escape and attain shelter of Krishna, but he couldn't attain until he was being empowered by Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Personally gave his mercy to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. To understand his glories, now we can take a look in Madhya Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is explained how Lord Nityananda Prabhu, just one of his 2, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Lord Balaram, is the first expansion. There are 3 energies. Spiritual world, internal energy is spiritual world is covered by the internal energy, influenced by the internal energy. In the material world, it is influenced by the external energy. And Jiva, the living entity, is marginal energy. These are the 3 energies. Now, the internal energy in spiritual world is consists of 3, divided. 1 energy is divided into 3. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat means eternality. That is also called Sandhini potency. Lord Balaram is representing Sandhini potency, existential potency, or Sat potency in this way. And Chit is Chidananda. Chit means knowledge potency is coming from Lord Krishna, is representing that. First one, Sandhini, is Lord Balaram representing Sat potency. Chit potency is Lord Krishna is representing. And the last one is Hladini potency, that is represented by Srimati Radharani. In this way, so Lord Balaram is the existential potency. So that's why Lord Balaram is expanding by his desire. Spiritual world, Golok, Vrindavan, Vaikuntha planet, Mathura, Dwaraka, Ayodhya, Jagannath Puri, rest of the Vaikuntha, everything is manifested by just the desire of the Lord Balaram. That is first expansion of Lord Krishna. And by his desire, even the material world, not even direct, is part and part of Lord Balaram. So Lord Balaram's first expansion is first quadruple Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Anuruddha. Sankarsana also representing ego. When it transforms into material, it becomes false ego. So the Vasudeva is for consciousness, Sankarsana is for ego, then Pradyumna is for intelligence, and Anuruddha is for mind. They are in charge of these 4 aspects. This is in the Golok Vrindavan. When it comes to the second quadruple from Sankarsana, first quadruple Sankarsana comes Lord Narayan. From Lord Narayan again expands into second quadruple expansion, Chaturvyuha, also called Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Anuruddha. These second quadruple expansions are in the rest of the Vaikuntha planet. They are not in Golok Vrindavan. First quadruple expansion in Golok Vrindavan, they are staying in 4 different directions. They are in charge for Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. They are in charge for Rigveda, Samveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda. This is in the Golok Vrindavan. When it comes to the rest of the Vaikuntha planets, then they are the taking care of different duties within the rest of the Vaikuntha planets. So that's why from second Sankarsana, so Lord Narayan expands into second quadruple. In that second Sankarsana is called Maha Sankarsana. So that from second Sankarsana comes 3 Purusha avatars. Karanodaka Sai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. From these 3 Purusha avatars, now the material world is getting created. When living entities want to enjoy separately from the Lord, this material world is created. So that time these 3 Purusha avatars are engaged in creation indirectly. They are just doing the glancing on the ingredients of this material world. 26 elements, 24 elements, 26 elements. And then Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu expanding and entering into each and every universe. After Karana was I, Vishnu producing the bubbles or universes. We are in one of the smallest universe. And then Karana, and then Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, third Mahavishnu, third Vishnu is expanding as Paramatma, entering into each and every living entity, each and every atom as Paramatma in this way. Now, because why I am explaining is Lord Anantadev, Lord Sesha, there are 7 Shaktyavesya avatar, because Prabhupada mentioned many times. Palena Parichati, if you want to understand somebody's mercy, somebody's power, somebody's influence, one must see the results. Like everybody knows the result of the transformation of so many people became devotees of Lord Krishna because of Srila Prabhupada's significant preaching, his purity. Same way, if you want to understand Lord Nityananda Prabhu's mercy and Lord Balarama's mercy and his empowerment, as we saw the 2 examples, Raghunath Das, Krishna Das, Kaviraj Goswami, 2 prominent personalities. One is Lord Sesha. Lord Sesha, who is carrying on 10 different items, 10 different services he takes care of in the spiritual world. That is Lord Sesha, is Shaktyavesya avatar. And then the second prominent Shaktyavesya avatar is Lord Anantadev, who's holding in this material world all the universes as a mustard seed. It is like a pinch for him. One universe like that, all universe is holding as a mustard seed on his head. All the way below, Garbhodaka ocean, is staying Lord Anantadev. Where I want to quote these verses because that's how Prabhupada explains in his classes. So, empowerment. If you want empowered, anyone wants empowerment for any work, especially the spiritual work, preaching, understanding, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, any transcendental subject matter. If you want to attain Krishna's shelter, then one must need this empowerment from Lord Balarama, Nityananda Prabhu. So let's look at, there are 7 Shaktyavesya, prominent Shaktyavesya avatars. There are direct and indirect. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing Sanatana Goswami in Madhya Leela chapter 20. There it is mentioned. Quickly I'll cover that. Sanakadi Narada Prutu Parasurama Jiva Rupe Brahmara Avesh Avatara Nama Vaikunte Sesha Dara Daraye Ananta Ei Mukhya Avasesha Avatara Vistare Nahi Anta Sanakadya Jnana Shakti Narada Shakti Bhakti Brahmaya Srushti Shakti Anante Bhudharana Shakti Seshe Swasevana Shakti Prutute Palana Parasurama Dushta Nasaka Virya Sancharana Gnana Shakti Adi Kalaya Yatra Avisto Janardhanata Avesha Nigadyante Jiva Eva Mahattamaha. Where basically it is explaining there are 7. First one is Narada. Narada is representing Bhakti Shakti. Say out of 7, many Shaktyavesya avatars are there. One is direct, one is indirect. Another way also is explained as one is Shaktyavesya, another one is Vibhuti. So Vibhutis are more less prominent because their direct power, especially Lord Sesha and Lord Ananta, are direct incarnation of the Supreme Lord, part and parcel of Lord Nityananda basically. So by there's 2 are carrying big duties. That is why the verse number 372 from chapter number 20, Madhya Leela we just read, where it is explained. His own Shakti, Sesha, in spiritual world, expanding in 10 different places where it is being given. 10 different places are umbrella, slippers, bedding, pillow, garments, resting chair, residence, sacred thread, and throne. In this way, there are 10 different things. This is in Adi Leela, it is explained. Sahasra Vadana Eno Sesha Sankarshana Dasa Deha Dara Dare Kare Krishnera Sevana. In 10 different ways in spiritual world, Lord Sesha is performing this. He is the main one of the Shaktyavesya. There are many unlimited Shaktyavesya avatar, but he is the prominent Lord Sesha. And then second one is Anantadev. So where it is explained, Anantadev is Anante Bhudharana Shakti. Ananta is holding the Bhudharana Shakti. Second. And Narada Muni is given Bhakti Shakti. Because he is able to propagate devotion service. There is the Narada Bhakti Sutra. Then there is a Narada Pancharatra given by Narada Muni. And then we see that also Brahma is Srushti Shakti. He's been given empowerment to create. So this is Lord Brahma is Jiva Tattva. Narada Muni Jiva Tattva. 4 Kumaras is been given Gnana Shakti. So that's why there's a 4 Kumaras. There's another pastime. 4 Kumaras getting their energy, the strength, the knowledge, transcendental knowledge. They're always hearing from Lord Anantadev, who's lying down below Garbho, the ocean, holding on all these universes, but he's speaking continuously. But he's not able to finish the glories of Lord Krishna. So that's how unending glories. And he's speaking. So 4 Kumara, then they speak to Sankhya Muni. Then Sankhya Muni speaks to Parasara Muni. And in this way, disciplic succession goes. There are 4 Kumaras. There is the Kumara Sampradaya, Nimbarka Sampradaya. There is one of the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas. 4 Kumaras established. So 4 Kumaras has been given empowered by Gnana Shakti. Brahma with Srushti Shakti. And then Parasuram is being given by the Dushta Nasaka Virya Sancharana Shakti to kill the miscreants. So that is the Shakti. He has been empowered. But it's Jiva Tattva. Jiva Tattva. Even though he is empowered Shakti Avatar. All of them are, except only Lord Ananta and Lord Sesha. Both are direct incarnate. They are not Jiva Tattva. They are Vishnu Tattva category. So that's clearly we must understand that. And then I think I forget Prutu Maharaj. Prutu is Palana Shakti as king. He's been also empowered incarnation, but Jiva Tattva, not Vishnu Tattva. Vishnu Tattva is these two personal, Lord Ananta and Lord Sesha. So by understanding this aspect, just looking at how Lord Nityananda to Lord Balarama, not even his direct expansion, but expansion of the expansion, all the way down, Lord Sesha and Lord Ananta, they are carrying out these many services, they are being empowered. Same way, if you want to engage in any services, anything we want to fulfill our task for our spiritual master, for our temple, we must pray to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. By glorifying Lord Nityananda Prabhu, in this way, we will be able to get the mercy, we will be able to get empowerment. So that is the second aspect. How to receive mercy, how to receive the empowerment. Now we will understand the Lord Nityananda Prabhu is also called Sri Pada Nityananda Prabhu. Why is it so? That Sri Pada, there is a clear distinction is been made, given by Kavi Karnapur in Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka, where is been explaining this in Act 5, text 64 of Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka, written by Kavi Karnapur, who is the son of Sivananda Sen, where he is explaining, because this is happening when Lord when after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking sannyas, then Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan. Then Mahaprabhu is being diverted to go to Mayapur, go to Shantipur, where Lord Advaita Acharya is there, because everybody is in separation. Because suddenly Mahaprabhu took sannyas, Mother Sachi Devi, all the devotees, Advaita Acharya, everybody is in separation from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu, knowing the intentions, then immediately brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, diverted, showing that as Vrindavan, he told cohort boys, you tell, if you are asked, you tell them that this is the way, path to Shantipur. So that time, this conversation is happening. There, this has been mentioned. Advaita Acharya Prabhu is mentioning this to why the Lord Nityananda Prabhu tricked me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told. Then Lord Advaita Acharya, no, because that is his duty. What is his duty? He is telling. For both the reasons, no one has to trick you, because Lord Nityananda is known as Sripad. He is not at fault for taking you here. Sripad, S-R-I-P-A, Sripad means Lord Krishna, who protects the goddess of fortune, and ADA, Ada, Sripada, 2 words. Ada means he who takes, because Nityananda is known as Sripad. It is right that he takes you, who is Lord Krishna, with him and places you before us. Lord, please accept your first alms at my home. This is Advaita Acharya Prabhu submitting to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's why it is very, very important. Sripada means one who actually picks up the soul, picks up a person, living entity, and places in front of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So that's why if you want to get a guru, then we must sincerely pray to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Then he can really show us who is the guru whom we can surrender. Even after initiation, if you want to attain Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, then one must pray to Lord Nityananda Prabhu, because he is the one who is presenting Lord Krishna before us. As he is presenting Advaita Acharya and Mother Sachi, all of them are looking where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. Then he is the one who is presenting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu before them. He brought them, he diverted them, because he knows the intentions and desires of devotees. So that's why it is very, very important. Now, from Murari Gupta Karcha, we'll understand it more. How Murari Gupta Karcha, written by Murari Gupta, famous devotee, Hanuman in Gaur Leela. Hanuman in Ram Leela, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, is Murari Gupta. Where is this conversation between Damodar Pandit and question Damodar Pandit to Murari Gupta is asking, can you tell me about the incarnations? You talked about so many incarnations, but what are these incarnations? Then Damodar Pandit and Murari Gupta started speaking. Avaduto Mahatejo Nityananda Mahattamaha Baladeva Asato Jato Mahayogi Swayam Prabhu. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is the plenary portion of Sri Baladev. Although the greatest of great, he appears as Avadut and great mystic, but is actually the Supreme Lord himself, origin of all emanations. Natasya kulastani karmani vaktam utsahe api varas satena api Brahaspatir api swayam. Even Brahaspati himself, with 100 years at his disposal, could hardly attempt to describe Sri Nityananda Prabhu's character and activities. When Brahaspati, the matchless master of art of eloquence, is unable to delineate the qualities of Lord Nityananda, then what to speak of insignificant living entities such as ourselves? He is the second only to Sri Krishna, and he is more dear to Lord Gauranga than his own life breath. So we can understand how. And then first time, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there's another sweet pastime, then we'll go more deep. There's the pastime of Nityananda Prabhu, giving how he has given mercy to at Srungaravat. This is all in Vrindavan, Srungaravat place, Lord Nityananda pastimes. Look at this wonderful vata tree on the bank of the Yamuna. Everyone calls it Srungaravata. At this place, Lord Krishna would enjoy himself by dressing in various ways for the pleasure of Subal and others, because there are 12 Dwadasa Gopal Sakas in Krishna Leela. Most of them appeared, I think 10 of them or so, or all 12 of them became the associates of in Gaur Leela. They appeared along with Nityananda Prabhu. They became Nityananda Parshads or branches. Along with him, they were the associates. So Uddharananda Thakur, when Mahaprabhu told he get married, then he came to this place, as I was explained, Ambika Kalan. That's where he met Suryadaya Sarakela, who was the king Kugudmi in previous Leela, Krishna, Dwapar Leela, Dwarka Leela. So there he met Suryadasa. He goes to the house of Ambika at the Ambika Kalan. Suryadasa Sarakela was the commander, like a commander. He was working for a king, a great wealthy man. And he meets the Suryadasa Sarakela and goes inside the house and tells, give your daughters in marriage to me. Then Suryadasa Sarakela, then he also, Nityananda Prabhu bewildered him. Also, one who wants to be bewildered, wants to be speculated, wants to be cheated, Lord Nityananda Prabhu bewildered them. He will never be able to understand. Here, this is a pastime. Obviously, Suryadasa Sarakela was a devotee of Nityananda Prabhu. He bewildered him so he didn't give. He denied his request. Then Jano Mata, his daughter, fell ill, so ill that they have to run, all the family members, they have to run to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Then they brought back Lord Nityananda Prabhu back to his house, Suryadasa. Then finally they arranged a marriage. So that's why Vasudha is Varuni in spiritual world. Janava Mata is Revati in the spiritual world. They are eternally the consorts of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So everything, because all these pastimes we have to understand the intricacies So that's how Suridas Sarakeli give both of them in marriage to. And Uddharan Datta Thakur is the one who was associated, who was going with Nityananda Prabhu, talking to this family member, talking to Suridas Sarakeli. So Uddharana Datta is also one of the Gopal, I think, Sudam or Subal. Here it is mentioned in this pastime. For the pleasure of Subal and others. Some other people call this place Nityananda Vata. This is also correct. Please listen while I explain briefly how Lord Nityananda came to this place. Nityananda Ram and Lord Chaitanya are one and the same body. Lord Nityananda was born in Radhadesh, in the village of Ekachakra Gram. Ekachakra Gram, because when Lord Krishna and Kurukshetra war, when he released, he was not supposed to take the weapons. He promised. Then he finally, when Lord, Bhishma Pitama ready to kill Arjuna because Duryodhana was very much agitated, and he told, you are becoming, soft. You are not fighting hard. You are becoming friends with them. Then he became valiantly fought next day with Arjuna to ready to kill him. So then that time Lord Krishna, seeing something is going to happen, then immediately took a wheel of a chariot. He ran towards Lord Bhishma Dev. Then Bhishma Dev, that is because Bhishma Dev is in chivalry of rasa with Lord Krishna. That is the form Lord Bhishma Dev wants to see and leave the body. So then that's why that pastime happened. Then Lord Krishna, understanding that desire, he picked up the chariot wheel and ready to throw to Bhishma Dev. Then, so obviously Bhishma Dev stopped by seeing that. Immediately he surrendered to Lord. He didn't fight anymore. Then Arjuna released the arrows, and we all know that pastime. Then that wheel, where did it go? That went to Ekachakra Dham, close to from Mayapur. It's 4 hours journey. Nice, beautiful temple is there in Ekachakra Dham. Even in Ambika Kalana also there is a beautiful temple. Even where Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met first time, Nandana Acharya's home. That is also a beautiful place. Very close to Mayapur, Holur Ghat, near that Ghat, this place is there. If you go to Mayapur, please visit this place. Nandana Acharya, very prominent actually. So because Nandana Acharya's place is represented 3 personalities hid in his house. Lord Nityananda Prabhu hid in his house. First time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself also hid in this house. Not only that, Lord Advaita Acharya also hid in this house at different times, not at one time. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hid in this house just before the Kaji, breaking all this, after breaking Kaji and ready to perform Mahasankirtan, non-cooperation movement, bringing all the devotees, thousands of people. So that time Mahaprabhu came to this place and hid, Nandanacharya's place, and he hid in this place. So that's why Nandanacharya Prabhu is a great devotee, is also eternal devotee, associate of the Lord. So that's why, Ekachakra Gram, that's when I remember. So Ekachakra, his father's name was Adai Pandit, mother's name is Padmavati. To describe their affection for their son is beyond the power of my words. The son of Padmavati, who was always filled with the greatest ecstasy, manifested various pastimes at Ekachakra. He displayed for everyone the pastimes of various incarnations in their different moods. The residents of Ekachakra were most fortunate as they accepted Nityananda Chandra as their life and soul. Lord Nityananda remained at home for 12 years. 12 years Nityananda Prabhu stayed there, and then we see the pastime coming up. Lakshmi Pati, his spiritual master, he came as sannyasi. Some say Lakshmi Pati. Here in this specifically in this Bhakti Ratnakara, it is mentioned as Lakshmi Pati. In some places they say that Madhavendra Puri. But either way, because both of them are spiritual masters. One was, I think, Harinam, one was the Mantra Diksha, second initiation Guru. Madhavendra Puri is also Guru of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So either way we can take. Or some say that it is a disciple, one of the disciples, either disciple of Madhavendra Puri or a disciple of Lakshmi Pati. Either way, but more or less close to that. So he was 12 years at his home with Adai Pandit and Padmavati at Ekachakra Dham. Lord spent and performed so many beautiful pastimes, Balya Leela. Performed so many, especially Lakshman. So Leela. So that's why Lord Balarama also want to say, Lord Balarama, Lord Nityananda performs 5 rasas, 5 primary rasa. Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Shanta rasa is serving as this mentioned, his paraphernalia, umbrella and his shoes, his armchair, and so many things, women, garments, pillow, resting chair, residence, all these things are Shanta rasa. And then you have a Dasya rasa, especially as a servant, especially when he is anger. Even as elder of Lakshmana, when he appeared as Lakshmana also, he was serving in a Dasirasa, always serving Lord Ramachandra. But when he is elder, especially more prominent, which is Sakyarasa, Lord Balarama, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, both appear as elder, because Mahaprabhu, when he met Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu, that was Mahaprabhu was at 20 years, and Nityananda Prabhu is at 32 years at that time. So 32 years, that's when they met. So 12 years he was there, and then he traveled. Sannyasi took taking him to holy places, almost I think 15 or so years. Then a few years Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu was waiting when Mahaprabhu is going to appear and come and meet me. So finally he hid in this Nandanacharya's house. Anyway, so Santarasa, Dasirasa, Sakyarasa. Sakyarasa as Lord Balaram, always serving. We saw in Krishna Leela also how serving. Here also in Gaur Leela also we see Lord Nityananda Prabhu serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So many, that's why he got married. That's why he went to Bengal to preach. That is Mahaprabhu's instruction. Along with Haridas Thakur, both of them went door to door begging, asking people to take up, chanting the holy name of the Lord. And then Shantarasa, Sakyarasa, Dasirasa, Vatsalyaras. Vatsalyaras also Lord, as Lord Balaram, as Lord Nityananda Prabhu, as the elder brother, in protecting Lord Krishna, as Yashodama is always to say, make sure you protect, you take care of your elder brother. Is always protecting and taking care of Lord Krishna. So in this way, Vatsalyaras is also performed. And then the Madhuriras, Lord Balaram expands himself as Ananga Manjari. If you are second initiated, we chant the Kama Gayatri, Krishna Gayatri and Kama, last two Gayatri mantras of the 7 Gayatri in Brahma Martha Gaudiya Sampradaya in Islam. In the 7th one, there is a Ananga word. That Ananga Manjari is the Lord Balaram, younger sister of Srimati Radharani, of Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Devi's daughter. Daughter of basically, Ananga Manjari is the daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Devi. So younger sister. And then she has also Kunja, very close associate, basically, Srimati Radharani. So she has a Kunja, Sukha Sevananda Kunja, in Radha Kund. So this is Ananga Manjaris, because all the Manjaris, most of them, they have their own Kunjas also. So that is the Swananda Seva Kunj. So close to Radha Kund. So in this way, we can see Lord Balaram is performing all 5 rasas, 5 primary rasas. So in this way, we can see that non-different, but one is accepting service. Lord Krishna is accepting service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is accepting service. One is taking service from others, and then is giving service to Lord Krishna. So is accepting as a guru. Lord Nityananda Prabhu's expansion is spiritual master. In that way, they take practitioner disciples and present it to Lord Krishna. That is job of Lord Nityananda, Lord. That is the job of spiritual master. So that is called servant Godhead. So he is the Adi Guru. In that way, Lord Nityananda plays prominent role. Now continue this past time. Sorry, we're already 12:19. Much more. So many past tense. It's unlimited past tense. Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Lord Nityananda Prabhu stayed at home for 12 years, during which everyone's affection for him increased. However, who can understand the mind of Nityananda? He could not remain peaceful without Lord Chaitanya. One day he considered in his mind, it is not proper for me to go to Navadvip just now. Lord Chaitanya has appeared there and presently is hiding himself as a child. When he discloses his identity to his devotees, then I will go and meet him. At present, I will go on pilgrimage. Thinking like this, Nityananda Prabhu smiled to himself. At that time, when sannyasi came to the village, he inquired from the people about where Adai Pandit lives. On understanding the location of Adai Pandit's house, the sannyasi went there. Seeing the sannyasi, Adai Pandit became very happy. Immediately brought many eatables and offered them to sannyasi. The sannyasi, however, said, I have one request from you. If you accept my request, then only I will eat. Adai Pandit vowed to accept sannyasi's request and proceeded to feed him. As the sannyasi was about to leave, he asked for Nityananda to accompany him. Nityananda, remaining peaceful at heart, solaced his parents and left with the sannyasi. In this way, he was also able to leave his home. Who can understand his wonderful pastimes? Whoever sees this youthful Nityananda, whose beauty attracts the whole world, feels his eyes coolly refreshed. Wherever Lord Nityananda went, people came rushing to see him with agitated hearts. Majestically walking like the best of the elephants, Nityananda distributed the Lord's mercy to everyone. Just as he traveled in Dwapara Yuga in the form of Baladeva, now he traveled in the same way to all the holy tirthas. While traveling to the south, he went to Pandharpur. This past time happened at Pandharpur, where this Lakshmipati meeting. Pandharpur is a very significant actually. Even his Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's brother, Saru, went and left, merged into the body of the Lord there at Pandharpur only. That's why Mahaprabhu, on that disguise of that past time, he told, I am going to search for my brother. But he knows what happened. But one also it is mentioned that his brother is Nithyananda Prabhu also, Viswarup. But here Pandharpur is coming. Where he saw the deity of Vittalnath, in that village lived one sober Brahmana who was a god brother of Madhavendra Puri. That Brahmana took Lord Nityananda to his house, and offered him fruits and milk. The people of Pandharpur were greatly fortunate. By seeing Nityananda, their lives became successful. Who can understand the Lord's mind? Seeing Vittalnath Nitai remained there in seclusion. Then one day, by the invitation of Brahmana, his guru Lakshmipati came there from a distant place. Lakshmipati was expert in all the Shastras, and he had many disciples with him. Who can describe this loving affection he had for his disciple? Just as parents have for his child, performing the most ancient rituals which cannot be described in words. He was well known saint in the devotional path. Who can describe the glories of Lakshmipati, whose disciple was Madhavendra Puri? Madhavendra Puri was full of ecstatic loving devotion. Whoever remembers his name achieves all success. Ishvara Puri, Ranga Puri, and many others were his disciples. All of the disciples of Madhavendra Puri in Bengal and Orissa were devotees of Lord Krishna, attached in pure love. Madhavendra was well known in the Madhva Sampradaya. He was an ocean of transcendental activities, being very dear to Lakshmipati. This Lakshmipati stayed at the house of this Brahmana disciple, and accepting his food there, he passed his time in Krishna Katha. Repeatedly, Lakshmipati told his disciple, there is some special auspiciousness in your home. I have come many times in your house, but I have never felt such happiness in my mind. I think there is some great devotee here. The Brahmana replied, your mercy is very strong. By the desire of the Lord, the Brahmana did not reveal his presence. In this way, they spent the day in different topics. In the evening, while sitting in a secluded place, Lakshmipati sang the glories of Lord Balarama. With unflinching devotion, he prayed to Baladev with tears in his eyes. O Lord, I am the lowest sinful person. Please be merciful to me. By so doing, your fame will spread throughout the universe. After he offered these prayers, he fell to the ground, tears streaming from his eyes. The state of Lakshmipati cannot be properly described. He was very old, and in intense lamentation, he fell unconscious. He was unable to remain steady due to his profound loving ecstasy. Suddenly, by the will of the Lord, he fell asleep. Lord Nityananda, in the form of Lord Balarama, appeared in a dream before the sannyasi. What wonderful beauty, defeating that of Cupid. His limbs defeated the beauty of a mountain of silver. His arms extended to his knees, his chest was broad, and his lotus eyes extended to his ears. His earrings attract the minds of the whole universe, and at the left side of his waist, he kept a beautiful buffalo horn. His body was decorated with various ornaments. Indeed, nothing within this universe can be compared to his beauty. His face defeats the beauty of the full moon. While speaking, unlimited nectar flowed from his mouth. Speaking slowly, he said, my dear Lakshmipati, my heart breaks hearing your lamentation. O Lakshmipati, Krishna is the Lord of my life, and you are his servant, life after life. Lakshmipati, holding the lotus feet of Baladeva, replied, I pray that I will not have any differentiation like this in my mind. Hearing the words of Lakshmipati, Lord Balarama smiled and said, in this village, one Brahmana's son has come in the dress of an Avaduta. He will become your disciple. With this mantra, you initiate him as your disciple. Lord Balaram then uttered the mantra in the ear of Lakshmipati, who on receiving the mantra became ecstatic. After thus bestowing his mercy, Lord Balaram disappeared. After rising in the morning, the sannyasi was remembering the dream. Nityananda Prabhu appeared before him. Seeing the luster of Nityananda, Lakshmipati considered, what a wonderful bodily effulgence. He cannot be a human being. Thinking like this, the Lord sannyasi looked on Lord Nityananda Prabhu's beautiful face with unblinking eyes. Falling on the ground, Lord Nityananda Prabhu offered his obeisances to the sannyasi, who quickly picked up the Lord and took him on his lap. Nityananda said to Lakshmipati again and again, please initiate me and deliver me. Hearing Nityananda's sweet words, the sannyasi was agitated and began to float in his own tears. Unable to disobey the order of Lord Balaram, Lakshmipati on that very day gave initiation to Lord Nityananda. After giving him mantra, the sannyasi took the Lord on his lap and becoming overwhelmed, his body trembled in ecstasy. The most merciful Nityananda is very dear to Lakshmipati. What is there he cannot do? He himself is fully independent Supreme Lord. In this way, Lord Nityananda, reservoir of love, well-wisher of the devotees, increased the ecstasy of the whole Madhva Sampradaya. By becoming a disciple of Sri Lakshmipati, Lord Nityananda increased the ecstasy of his Guru. Very soon after this, Lord Nityananda went to another place. Others are unable to understand lost pastime. Being therefore of Nityananda's association, the sannyasi became greatly agitated. Without speaking to anyone, he thought deeply to himself. As night was ending, Lakshmipati fell asleep. In a dream, Lord Nityananda appeared before him. Seeing the Lord, the most sober Lakshmipati could not check his tears. Then Nityananda manifested his form of Lord Balarama before Lakshmipati. Seeing this, sannyasi fell at his feet. Wet with his tears, sannyasi said again and again, "You have incarnated just to bewilder me. Lord Brahma does not know you. Others cannot know you. Only those whom you desire can know you. Why are you tricking me? I am a most insignificant insect, a fool. Please show the mercy on me, for I am surrendered to you." Hearing this word, Lakshmipati Lord again and again appeared as Lord Nityananda. Form of the Lord was more enchanting than a flashing bolt of lightning. Seeing such beauty, Lakshmipati became agitated in love. And then basically Lord Lakshmipati left the body also immediately, almost pretty much in days. We're already time 12:26. I'll just share one quick pastime from Chaitanya Bhagavat and then probably we can end. Nice pastime to understand. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is instructing. After when Sachi Mata made an offense because she couldn't recognize as Advaita Acharya, I mentioned before in another class, Advaita Acharya was preaching, distributing Krishna Katha, and Sachi Mata Jagannath Mishra's first son, Viswarup, used to attend the classes of Advaita Acharya, and then he became sannyasi and left home. In the second, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also used to go and visit Advaita Acharya Prabhu home and hear classes. Then Sachi Mata said, "He is not Advaita, he is Dvaita." And then that was an offense. Then Mahaprabhu, understanding this, when he was at Advaita Acharya Prabhu's place, then Srivas Thakur asked, "Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you please show your mercy to Mother Sachi." Then he said, "No, I cannot give because she offended." "Oh, your mother offending a devotee? This is not possible." So in this way, in that conversation, this is in the Madhya Kanda, part 3 of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur is writing. There at the end, after Mahaprabhu showed the mercy, Sachi Mata was able to touch the feet of Advaita Acharya because Advaita Acharya fell unconscious while glorifying Sachi Mata. How can she offend me? This is not possible. This is offending me. You are all offending me. Then Advaita Acharya, in that glorifying, he felt unconscious. Then she took the liberty and touched the lotus feet, took the dust. So how to remove our offenses? How to get the mercy? Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is describing here. Where it is mentioned. Yeah. Verse number 130. One who does not accept Advaita as a Vaishnava ultimately blasphemes and offends him. As a result, that person is properly punished. Gaura Sundara is the supreme controller and Lord of all. To be known as his follower is a great honor. Without reservation, Lord Gaurachandra addressed Nityananda Swarupa as Ishvara, the Supreme Lord. Nityananda Prasade Sei Gaurachandra Jani, Nityananda Prasade Sei Vaishnava Rachini. By the mercy of Nityananda, one can know Gaurachandra. And by the mercy of Nityananda, one can recognize a Vaishnava. Very important point. The second important point coming. Nityananda Prasade Sei Ninda Yaya Kshaya. Nityananda Prasade Sei Vishnu Bhakti Haya. By the mercy of Nityananda, one's offenses are destroyed. Second important instruction. And by the mercy of Nityananda, one attains devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Ninda nahi Nityananda sevakera mukhe ahim aham nisha chaitanya yasha gaya sukhe. The servants of Nityananda never engage in blasphemy. Day and night they happily sing the glories of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nityananda Bhakta Savadike Savadan, Nityananda Bruttera Chaitanya Dhana Pran. The devotees of Nityananda are always cautious. Those servants of Nityananda Prabhu know only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as their life and wealth. Alpa Bhagye Nahi Haya Nityananda Das, Yanhara Loyaya Gaurachandra Prakash. Less fortunate people are not able to become servants of Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy one can understand Lord Gaurasundar. Ye jana sunaye Viswarupera Akshana, Sei Haya Anantadas Nityananda Prana. Anyone who hears the topics regarding Viswarupa, Chaitanya becomes Lord Ananta, servant. Nityananda becomes his very life and soul. Nityananda Viswarupa Abhede Sarira, Ai Iha Jane Are Kona Dira. There is no difference between Lord Nityananda and Viswarupa. Mother Sachi and some other sober persons know this fact. So in this way, there is unlimited glories of Lord Nityananda, Lord Balarama. So many wonderful pastimes and Leela Stalis. where Lord Nityananda Prabhu visited these holy places. Pandharpur is also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came to this place. So as I mentioned, Ambika Kalan, Nandanacharya's home, many places, many pastimes. So I'll 12:31 already. I'll stop here. Thank you very much for patiently listening. Nandras, Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, and Sri Nityananda Ram ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Prabhu, you have a few minutes for a couple of questions in case.
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead. Yes.
Like, anybody have any questions or if they want to ask? I think Rukmini Mataji, please go ahead. Hare Krishna Mata, you can go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much for narrating so many glories and pastimes of Nityananda Ram. That was quite blissful, and also that last story that you told was especially instructive. And I just wanted to mention one more point about that story was that Shachi Mata had thought that only in her mind about Advaita Acharya. So that is a strong warning to us about making offenses. So my question was about, you had said earlier in your class that you had said, which we hear that there's some controversy whether the sannyasi who came to take Nityananda Prabhu from Harai Pandit and Padmavati was Lakshmipati or Lakshmipati Tirtha or Madhavendra Puri. But then the story that you told at the later part, it seemed like Lakshmipati Tirtha was meeting him for the first time at that point when he was already, by himself. So was that from the same source or a different source? Like, I'm a little bit confused about that.
Yeah, thank you for your question. Yeah, two questions. First one was your reflection, but there is a elaboration on that also. So second one I will take first. So yes, I read from Bhakti Ratnakar. I don't have the book yet. So I have another book from Narahara Chakravarti. Looks like there are two versions of Bhakti Ratnakar. From one version where I read this from online, which is explaining Lakshmipati Tirtha is the one who went and took him basically. But in another source, it is mentioned that actually it is not Lakshmipati Tirtha, neither it is Madhavendra Puri. The age and the timing doesn't seem quite right. So it could be disciple of one of them, it is mentioned. So that's why I mentioned. So, but from Bhakti Ratnakar, where I'm reading, if I have the book, then I can refer and see. But this is the online version, so that's why I'm not 100% sure. But either way, we look at Madhavendra Puri or Lakshmipati or the disciple, more or less same, Sampradaya, same. And,
yes, of course.
Yeah,
so both sources you're reading at the beginning and at the end, it's both from Bhakti Ratnakar.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, but there are different versions. Yeah,
Correct.
I also have two versions, but it'll take me a while to look in there.
Yeah, and then the first reflection you mentioned about the mentally offense, and there are three offenses Sri Prabhupada is mentioning in Krishna book all the way end, 99th chapter at the end, quoting Bhrigu Muni, trying to find who is the greatest, going to Lord Brahma, to Lord Shiva, to Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha. There Prabhupada quotes, one must avoid three types of offenses. First, Bhrigu Muni went to Lord Brahma. He did a mentally offense in mind itself. He made an offense. That is the first offense. In Kali Yuga, that is not seriously considered, but it is prone to come to action and speech later on. Second offense, when went to Lord Shiva, by his words he told, Lord Shiva told, because they are brothers, Bhrigu Muni, there is a relationship with Bhrigu Muni. Then he told, no, you are unclean, I cannot associate with you. And in that way he blasphemes Lord Shiva. And that was a serious offense because he is using now speech. When the second offense, serious offense, is one who is speaking against scriptures, against the spiritual master, especially against the Guru, a pure devotee. It's even serious offense against Lord Shiva. Second one. The third one, when he went to meet Vaikuntha, Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha, that was serious offense because physically he put his leg on the chest of Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu. That is the serious offense. So Prabhupada mentions there one must try to avoid all these offenses, mental, by speech, by also by physical actions, while conversing with while in conversation with devotees or with any person. In nectar devotion, out of 64 items, Srila Prabhupada quotes that in chapter 7, I think, execution or devotion service. One of the item is never criticize, never give pain to other living entity. Not even devotee. He mentioned clearly, even other devotee, other person, other living entity. So you can imagine. So that's why it's we must be very cautious, and it's a practice. It doesn't come very easily. We all have to practice the process of devotion gradual way, especially by Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. In this Chaitanya Bhagavatam is explained. Our offenses can be destroyed, and we'll be able to at least rectify our mentality, especially. Taking out the mentality is very difficult from our hearts because it is coming from many lifetimes proclivities. Thank you for your question.
Yes, thank you. And in Bhajan Rahasya, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also mentions that that there's offenses to just regular living entities because they're parts and parcels of the Lord.
Yes.
So yes, thank you so much for that elaboration. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, go ahead.
Prabhu, couple of things here. The offenses you are talking about, that we are doing the offenses here and there every day. So in the mind, not the physically, mind also. So in this age, we are doing the offenses. So to remove that offenses, what are the things? What to do?
Okay, understood your question. So yes, in nectar devotion, and then Prabhupada quotes, I think Kartik Mahatmya, no, I think Kurma Puran also Prabhupada quotes. Then he gives 64 offenses, I think, or 32 offenses. Yeah, 32 offenses on nectar devotion, chapter number 9, I think, 8 or 9. And then Prabhupada quotes another 20 of them from Kurma Puran offenses. Basically, there is a Nam Aparad, holy name while chanting when we are not attentive. Then there is Seva Aparad, while serving the devotees or serving the Lord. And there is a Dham Aparad, when we go to the holy places, one must go with devotees. It's very important because otherwise we may commit some of them knowingly or unknowingly. So that's why Dham Aparad, Seva Aparad, Nam Aparad, and Vaishnava Aparad also. Vaishnava, especially against pure devotees. And Shastra, Ninda, the fifth one. And these are the 5 broad categories. And then there is clear details are being given. Just like one example I'll give you. Haridas Thakur, one pastime in Murari Gupta Karcha, it is mentioned. Because one Rama Muni, Brahmana, his son, he gave Tulsi leaf and gave the offering to him, go and offer. While going, the Tulsi leaf fell down. Then he picked up Tulsi leaf and put on the offering, and then he did offering. And then because of that offense, because it's unclean Tulsi leaf put on the bhoga and offered, then he had to become Yavana in next life. That he became Haridas Thakur. So that is also because in 32 offenses it is mentioned when offering is done in this way, unclean way, that is also an offense. So that's why you must be careful. Yes. So how to avoid offenses? One I mentioned directly from Chaitanya Bhagavat, author of Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur is mentioning. One must pray to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Seriously, first of all, one must detect that I am doing some offenses. How to avoid that? Then with that mentality, pray sincerely to Lord Nityananda. Second one is one must try to do service to devotees, service to the Lord, more to devotees than the Lord. Then we'll try to, without any envious attitude, without any second thoughts, we should try to simply serve without looking at who's junior or senior or why is asking me to do service. Without asking any question, just do service, whatever possible, whether it's cleaning or cooking or garland making, whatever service you can do within your capacity, try to take up service. Then one must try to hear. So in this way we can at least will be able to come out of. And then one must approach, if somebody we have done offense directly in person, personally or verbally, we have done an offense to any Vaishnava, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is showing this in this pastime. Mother Sachi had to take the directly mercy of Advaita Acharya. And then Prabhupada also quotes there, I mean, the author quotes there the pastime of Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni going all the way to Vaikuntha. Nobody could say, Lord Vishnu told you have to go back to Ambarish Maharaj and beg the forgiveness from Ambarish Maharaj himself. So in this way, that's why, depending on what type of offense we are committing, mental offense will lead gradually into speech, that will gradually lead onto actions. So that's why we must curtail within the mind itself. If things are coming within the mind, we should sincerely chant, sincerely read, and especially the taking the association of devotee and serving serving devotees is very, very important. That will help actually to clean all our unwanted things, because we have this tendency that why somebody is asking me to engage, why I should do this menial service, I can take up, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is showing, he is also instructing not only give your copin to distribute to others. Nityananda Prabhu's copin has been given and distributed to others. But second thing, also Mahaprabhu instructed all, Srivas Thakur and everybody, wash the feet of Nityananda Prabhu and take that water and put on your head. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally himself is showing. So that means how much, that's a menial service, washing the feet. And Lord himself is showing that example also in all the Leelas. Whether it is with the upper Leela, we see that Sandeepan Muni, how Lord Krishna served, when Narada Muni came, and what his name was, that Vipra Brahmana came also for the, for the Samlakshmi, his wife sent him, Sudama, Vipra. He washed the feet personally, massage. And here also in Gaur Leela, also same thing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally showing that example. And Nityananda Prabhu also personally did that, showing by their own example. So that's why serving devotees, engaging in any service, something or the other in temple, is very, very important. That will remove, because the anarthas, the proclivities, whatever tendencies we may have, criticize this devotee is not good, or this, that, so many things we may have. All these tendencies has to go away, throw out into the dustbin. That only happen when we start engaging in service without asking any questions. So then naturally it will go without much endeavor. Very quickly it will go.
Yes.
Is that clear?
Yes, yes, Prabhu, this is clear. Dhanavad Punam Prabhu. And another question is that Vishwarup is the elder brother of Mahaprabhu.
Correct.
So he's also Balaram or some. Can you explain a little bit about that? What is the relation between the Balaram and Vishwarup?
Just like in Dwaraka Leela, for Mother Devaki and Vasudev, Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram, both are the sons of actually Devaki and Vasudev. But by the pastime of the Supreme Lord, so Balaram was transferred in the womb of Rohini in Vrindavan, because Vasudeva has 16 wives, not one. Most of the wives are hiding in Vrindavan, other places, because of Kamsa's spear. In Gaur Leela also, same way. So Jagannath Mishra, father, and mother Sachi Devi, same as Devaki and Vasudev. And then they had two sons. Before that also, it is mentioned in some places that they had also some other sons died. So here, Vishwarup was the first one. The second one was Vishwambar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after sannyasa, is being called Sri Krishna Chaitanya. So second, so the Vishwarup in some of the books, it is some of the authors, it is clearly mentioned that Vishwarup is non-different from Lord Nityananda. That's why another pastime in Chaitanya Bhagavat, we see that Lord Nityananda Prabhu personally goes to Sachi Mata's house. Sachi Mata treated Nityananda Prabhu as his own son. Lord Nityananda Prabhu also says the same way, reciprocate in a very affectionate way as his own mother. And then he said, yes, what you said is true. I and my brother Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always there eating your remnant. You are not able to see, but Chaitanya, let me invite him. Personally, he calls Lord Chaitanya. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears there. Personally, they both eat what Sachi Mata cooks. Sankranti, specific day, Mahaprabhu recounts and tells Damodar, go and tell my mother that I was eating on Sankranti day. This is what you offered. So in this way, we can see that Vishwarup is non-different from Lord Nityananda Prabhu. That's why sometimes Vishwarup is also called Sankarshan, which is Lord Balaram, Lord Nityananda Prabhu. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu left his pastimes. He ended his pastime merging into Bankin Rai, Lord Krishna, a deity. Same Viswarup went all the way through holy places. I don't remember the age. And he went to Pandharpur. That's where he, I think, emerged into deity and he left. That's where, that's what I remember. That is Viswarup. It's not different from Lord Nityananda. In that way, we have to understand. Vrindavan Das Thakur, Murari Gupta, Narhari Sakka Thakur from Bhaktinaka, Ratnagar, from various sources, it is clearly mentioned Viswarup is not different from Lord Nityananda. Why it is maybe confusing? No, it is not confusing. In another place is also mentioned that when Lord Ramachandra appears, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna, Chaturvyuha, second quadruple expansion, there it is mentioned in one of these books, only authors. Lord Ramachandra, when he appeared, Lakshmana specifically, there are two personalities. Lakshmana divided into two personalities when he came to earthly planet. One as Sesha, Ananta, one as also Lakshmana. Both were serving. Then again, Lakshmana went back and then he divided, and then Sesha took back his service, or Ananta took back his service. One of the pastime I read recently by this one of the great authors. So in this way, there is no confusion. Lord can do either single-handedly, he can manage, even though physically he may not be there, but he can do. Hold all the universe also as Anantadev, as Lakshmana is doing both services. At the same time, when the pastime is ended of Lakshmana, he went back. Yeah, Indra is talking to Lakshmana. Now your pastime is up, you go back. Then Lakshmana goes back to the spiritual world. And then, but his second incarnate, which is Anantadev, he goes back and carries on his carrying these universes on his head. So there is no confusion. It is understanding. Lord can expand in so many different ways. So whether it is direct avatars, swams, or Sadekatma Rupa, or Vaibhav Prakash, or Prabhu Prakash. So there are so many details. It is too much technical in Chaitanya Charitamrita that is explained. But at least directly we should be able to understand. So is that clear?
Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Dandavat Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. A lot of good information. Not only the information, the spiritual information we got, and later maybe there is no time right now, but later maybe I'll ask you about the how Chaitanya Prabhu meet with Nityananda Prabhu.
Let me give that answer also quickly, and then we'll conclude. When they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, this is again instruction, spiritual master instruction. One cannot find Krishna vina, Shakti vina, nahi tare pravartan. Without the mercy, potency, empowerment of Lord Krishna, one cannot preach, one cannot distribute, one cannot chant, one cannot do any service. This has been given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. In this pastime also exhibited, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent first Murari Gupta and his servant Srivas Thakur, go and find Nityananda Prabhu is there in this village. They couldn't find. They are exalted, but Lord just want to show this example. By that, it is not possible by our own endeavors. Then okay, I'm coming. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally came to Nandana Acharya's place. There, then he saw Lord Nityananda Prabhu. But nobody could understand this. Avadhusi is Nityananda Prabhu is Balarama. Then immediately he told Srivas Thakur, go chant, Baraha Petam Natavar Opu Kannayo Kannikaram Bibradvasa Kanakabisam Vaijanti Chamalam Randran Veno Radra Sudaya Puram Goparundai Rundaranyam Sopadramanam Pravishat Gita Kirti. This is the 10th canto, 21st chapter, and verse number 5, Srimad Bhagavatam, glorifying Lord Krishna, his beauty and his complexion, everything. As soon as Srivas Thakur chanted these words, and Lord Nityananda Prabhu was ecstatically dancing and rolling on the ground, and he is completely, everybody was shocked and everybody was completely awestruck to see this personality. Then they could understand the glories of Nityananda. And then Lord Nityananda Prabhu spoke. He told, first, in order to understand Lord Krishna, one must first hear, one must gain knowledge. Vasudevi Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayo Janayati Asu Vairagyam, Gnanam Chayadahitukum. That's where knowledge, transcendental, one must hear attentively. That is the first instrument. Then gradually you develop, you worship. First one must hear, one must gain transcendental knowledge from authorized bona fide Acharya, bona fide Sampradaya. This is the instruction when they met at Nandanacharya's house. Lord Nityananda Prabhu was speaking to all of them. Including Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, but then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, see, this is the very, very important instruction Lord Nityananda is given. So please write down carefully. And he told Srivas Thakur and all others. So this is very, in this way we have to understand. So that's why hearing is very important. Then you can understand slowly and gradually. One day we cannot understand, but keep on reading, keep on hearing in the association of devotees. Every anartha will clear out, all our offenses will be cleared out, all our doubts will be cleared. But if we don't hear, if we don't take association, it's very difficult. Things will be confusing. Okay.
Hari Bol, Dandavad Bol. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Prabhu. Amazing question answers here. And I think one last question, Shalini Mataji. I think it might
Yeah,
be
go ahead.
Dr. Prabhu. Yeah. Go ahead, Mataji.
Okay. Prabhuji, just now you mentioned, but I miss it, but very important point that you told that don't try to see Lord yourself, like Mahaprabhu himself came. Could you repeat it, please? I missed that part. When Nityananda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu himself came, nobody can go to God himself. What you told that part, I missed, Prabhuji. Last, just now you told.
Yeah. So two things I mentioned in this past time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing by our own endeavors, by our own efforts, we cannot attain the mercy of Guru, we cannot attain the Lord Krishna Sharma. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent all his disciples, all his Srivas Thakur and big stalwart devotees, but nobody could find Nityananda. That is first instruction. Second instruction, I was telling, Lord, as soon as they chanted the words of Srimad Bhagavatam, Barhapetam, Krishna's beauty, immediately Lord Nityananda Prabhu exhibited his completely went into the internal ecstasy. Then they could recognize he is not an ordinary personality. He is the Lord himself, Supreme Person. Then Lord Nityananda Prabhu spoke. This is the second instruction. First thing he told is one must one must receive transcendental knowledge of Krishna. Then he can worship. Then he can start worshipping and gradually he can attain the Sharma. But one would, without having a proper transcendental knowledge from a proper bona fide Acharya, bona fide Sampradaya, then it becomes, because your worship will be like Gunarnav Mishra. He couldn't recognize Mini Ketananda, who was a disciple of Lord Nityananda. So because we will not be able to recognize, because unless the ear is working and it touching the heart, the fire, Pravishta Karnarandrena Swanam Bhava Saroruham, Dunoti Samalam Krishna, Selilam Yatasarat. It must touch the heart. Then only the fire must, the flames must come. That means then all the anarthas from all throat or body, mind, intelligence, everything will be completely burned out. Then actual real enlightenment will come. But with the knowledge, we are not hearing enough. It is not even touching into the heart, the fire in the heart. Then we will not be able to worship properly the deity. We will not be able to properly serve the devotees. We will not be able to do proper service. While making garland, we'll be talking, or the hair will go. We'll not put the turban or something covering our cloth. We think, I'm great cook or I'm great devotee. I can do whatever I like. Yes, we can do. We all can do, but it's just not going to be really pleasurable for the Lord. And Lord wears garland. Then if he sees hair and if he sees, yes, he will wear. Mechanically, we are putting and he's wearing, but he is not getting the pleasure. So that is where the significant difference is. More we hear, more we put into practice, then automatically transformation comes. But if more we don't do that, then more anarthas will keep sprouting, or weeds will sprout from the heart instead of fire will sprouting of transcendental knowledge. Mataji, is that clear?
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Sorry, it was a couple of few minutes over time. And thank you for the amazing discourse. And I hope there are no more questions or any other comments. Okay, Prabhu. We'll make some local announcements and then we will end the class. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu, once again. I know you have a very, very busy schedule there, but still you are able to take some time and share with us. And definitely, please, the future also, if you can come. And please visit Columbus when you get a time, Prabhu. And
Yes,
thank you.
I'm eagerly waiting for your June Bhumi Puja day.
Please, please,
My-
please, most welcome.
My obeisance to all the devotees. Or Naveen Krishna Prabhu is there, and others, Yadunath Prabhu, I don't see him, but I just recently read one of the associate of Lord Nityananda Prabhu is also some Yadunad, something is there. I couldn't remember the whole name, but Yadunad is also, you can remember by that Lord Nityananda Prabhu's associate.
Thank you, Prabhu. This is Naveen Krishnadas. I could not talk, but I was also in the temple doing some services, but listening the class, Prabhu.
Thank you, thank you. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo